Yeah, that's all good.
This one you choose that.
If you could just turn it down a smidge. I'll turn it.
Hello and welcome back to Gooner Gathering. My name is Posh Bertie, the poshest man in all of sports entertainment, and now I am joined by Gooner Gathering's founding father, tucking into a steak pie. It's Gooner Lee Meads. How are you, sir?
I'm all right, mate. I'm not too bad at all. Little bit stressed, a little bit busy. I've had a very busy day at work. Mrs. M, as you may remember her from such streams as the Women's Update. But Mrs. M has just got back from work, and I thought it'd be really good for me to get the dinner on and sorted. Miss M, Amy, is in the other room with her. So I thought, let's get the food on. It's been a very, very long day. But I thought we'd sort of make the best of the surroundings. I'm in the kitchen. This is a first ever kitchen stream. How exciting!
Oh, absolutely. This is a Gooner Gathering mukbang, ladies and gentlemen. AFC Always is in the chat saying, like as you enter and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Thank you, AFC Always.
Subscribe if you dare.
I appreciate your cooperation.
Cheers, AFC Always. Always in every single stream. Very much appreciated. And the numbers are filling up as we talk, mate. So welcome in, everybody. This is very much a relaxed stream. This is kind of a weird scenario, isn't it, Posh? Because we're approaching, so we're late Friday night into the weekend games. We don't play until Monday.
I know exactly who Pedro Wanless is. It may or may not be a man who has appeared on this channel before, saying, last week I was impressed with Posh Bertie's Declan Rice haircut. Gooner Lee Meads, who is your haircut I tribute to. Thank you, Mr. Wanless Senior, for your comment there.
Much respect to Pedro Wanless. And if Pedro has not already, please make sure you have liked and subscribed to the channel. Mrs. M was the one responsible for the haircut. It may or not have been when I was conscious. I'm joking. Miss, did you hear her? She's in the other room. She said, "You better be." Mrs. M kindly did this to the other night.
You were very conscious at your insistence.
At my insistence, as she says. No, it needed to go, mate. It has to go, as a great YouTuber once said. So look, yeah, this is the new look. AFC Always. I saw your comment in my video yesterday. If you want to take it up with Mrs. M, she's right in the other room there. But bless her, Anna. I tell you what, it's been so busy around here. There's so much going on. Obviously, I'm trying not to conceal my place of work, but you know, I'm in the work gear tonight. Mrs. M decided, thought it would be nice to just to get it all off. It was getting a bit out of control, Posh. You know what I mean?
Cutting and strutting. That's what you do.
It wasn't Brutus the Barber Beefcake who did it. I'll say that much.
No. Well, we are here to discuss the upcoming match that isn't until Monday. Arsenal versus Sheffield United at Bramall Lane. Now, on paper, we should really be wiping the floor with them on paper. But a cold Monday night in Yorkshire on national television. You know, you may never know what may happen.
Anything can happen, Posh. You're right there, sir. Anything can happen in the World Wrestling Federation. Good evening to Emerson. Welcome and thank you so much for joining us again. It's good to see you, my friend. I had the privilege of being... I had the privilege of being on stream with Emerson over on Mr. Arsenal podcast. That's Ryan. Just a couple of weeks ago. Hello, BX. Nice to see you there as well. Emerson was a terrific guy. Had a lot of fun on the women's chat along that we did together. So that, it's great to see you there, mate.
Excellent. So back to what we were saying. What do you? Transition again. Last time I had a haircut like yours, Lee, was in lockdown. There we go.
See, if we want to talk about my haircut, let me just tell you, this makes me more aerodynamic. This makes me more quicker to go wild in the aisles and do the shopping supermarket sweep style. This is what I do, right? Covering up the certain badge that I may or may not be wearing. Better get that off, eh?
Well,
but
yes, make sure you do that. You don't want to get a cease and desist letter.
Absolutely.
With this channel.
I mean, it's the new shampoo I've used. Wash and gone.
He says it suits you, AFC Always.
Thank you, AFC Always. I mean, it was getting up to about here, so I thought it had to go, didn't it, guys?
Should we talk about the game now?
We can talk about the game. Of course we can.
Let's talk about it. So, Arsenal, Sheffield United at Bramall Lane. Based on our recent form of blitzing through teams in the Premier League, Are you confident going into it, or are you as cautious as I can be when it comes to banana skin games like these?
Posh, look, you know me very well. Do you know what? I've just realised I've started the stream off and I've left my notebook over there. That's not good, is it? I know I'm going to have to go unprotected, uncensored.
Are you going off script?
I might have to because this stream is definitely professional already. So look, I took the liberty of looking back at sort of Sheffield United's form, and their last game was a very tricky game in the best of times against Brighton, right? What you don't need to be doing against Brighton is going a man down with very, very early on, right?
Yeah.
And Mason Holgate, the former Everton player, really did go above and beyond his duty by going high and late over Matoma, I believe it was. I remembered it off the top of my head. I'm very impressed. I'm such a professional. So when you're against that so early doors, very, very difficult to sort of come back in a very tricky game like that. And it was only going to get worse and worse. And I'm very aware that the Blades did concede a couple of goals on the old step play situation, which is something that we are very, very good at. Who knew, by the way, that Declan Rice was one of the most gifted set play takers of all of the times? Who knew?
I'm seeing someone next door going through what I think is an album of old photos, and I think I might know what photo this person is trying to find, and it's one of me as a very, very young baby in a Sheffield United shirt. I think I know what my dad's trying to do there.
That is just
he's
outrageous.
correct. We can read. I can read him like a book. He's hijacking my stream. Yeah. Oh, did I? Oh, I may have just broken Pedro Wanless' mystery identity there.
No.
Anyway, AFC Always says I'm expecting at least 7 or 8 goals from Arsenal. It's not that simple, but based on our form,
expecting 9. In fairness,
this company, don't you think?
No, I'm expecting 9.
Oh, fair enough. All for Eddie?
You have to be realistic in this situation. And for Arsenal, with Kai Havertz at number 9, as you'd expect, you definitely want to see us taking some chances. I want to see us absolutely doing something about the goal difference situation, which could be so crucial.
Yeah.
Part of me is kind of joking. Part of me is not. So look, what I want to see is more important than anything else. A very professional performance. Let's be fair, right? So Chris Wilder's come back in, hasn't he, at Sheffield United, and we know
he's got a decent record against us.
He has, and Sheffield United, are going to try and set up to make it very, very difficult for us. But if we make an electrifying, quick start, as you'd expect us to do, I mean, we might be requiring an abacus. I mean, look, I might regret these words. I'm live. I'm live, everybody.
You're eating food and drinking on stream, go with the flow, I guess.
I am. But I'm feeling, exactly. Exactly, AFC always. Newcastle scored 8. So I mean, I do recall for our dear friend Fran suggesting about 8 or 9 for the Emirates leg. Well,
yes,
it didn't quite go that way at the Emirates, although we still ended up a very
and of all players to get a hat trick. I was about to mention beforehand we were going to take a trip down memory lane, and of all players to get a hat trick against Sheffield United.
The outstanding number 9 at Arsenal Football Club. It was one Eduardo Nketiah with a masterclass, ladies and gentlemen.
He did well in that game. I remember I gave him credit, and I said, look, I wasn't going to be the guy that said, oh, it's only Sheffield United. Anyone can score against them. Well, like I said, you can only play what's in front of you, and he did well in that game. That is a game I give Eddie credit for. Absolutely,
and the goal that was the cherry on top of the cake, really, was the hat trick goal from quite a distance. I kind of associate it as a kind of penalty box player, almost like your old-fashioned number 9, if you will. But for Eddie to take a ball down outside the penalty area and let it go like he did for that hat trick, it was phenomenal for him. Difficulty with Eddie at the moment. He has to try and find his way around the new Klinsmann.
Oh my God! Look, despite Eddie's miraculous efforts the last time we played Sheffield United, I don't expect him to start. And I remembered I was going to go in the old lineup builder and say my starting 11.
This is a great point. AFC always saying it. To be honest, I'm not bothered how many goals we scored. It's really all about the 3 points. Yes.
When you get to this far in the season, it's the 3 points that people want, because it puts you further up the table. Still, and for us, still puts us in the title race picture.
Yeah, and with all my bravado and all my, of course, I'm going over the top because it's YouTube, right? Yes. You guys all know it. And I'm living up to my character, right? As the ever optimistic, positive Arsenal fan like I am. At the end of the day, if we come away from Bramall Lane with a 1-0 win, I'll be more than happy with that, guys. But
but based on our recent performances, I mean, you don't really. When you're facing bottom of the league Sheffield United, you have conceded goals left, right, and centre to all sorts of teams. For us to just win 1-0, I do get why people are like, oh, okay. I think we should be winning this comfortably. With all due respect to Sheffield United, but they have, vast majority of this season haven't exactly been the best of teams, haven't they?
Absolutely. No, I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. And BX's comment about the 3 points aren't enough, the goal difference matters. I get your point, BX, and much respect to you, and thank you again for joining us. Premier League doesn't always work. We come up with the phrase, on paper, Arsenal should be doing this, that, and the other, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's not the games against Sheffield United or the likes of that Sheffield United and the likes of people that are down the bottom end of the table like Everton, Crystal Palace, and all that sort of stuff. It's literally against the likes of Manchester City, who is still got to play against. We have Manchester United still to play against at Old Trafford, which is going to be a massive, difficult game. Big up to Mile High, who are joining us once again. We are so grateful for Mile High joining us from the other side of North London, just via across the pond.
How on earth has your boss won the Manager of the Year award? I know he's a lovely bloke and all that, but what's he achieved? Oh, I don't know. Let's not get into that. Declan Rice,
I'll add to that. I will add to that. It's not as if David Moyes won a European trophy or anything, is it?
No, and Emma Hayes, it's not like she's won the league with Chelsea ladies or anything,
A really excellent point, Bertie. Someone's been doing their homework. I'm very impressed.
Anyway. But Declan Rice got the Player of the Year award at that same show, which is always nice. And I think someone has found. Bear with me 2 seconds.
Oh my God! Oh, he's abandoned me completely. All right, fair enough. So, Mile High Hotspur, yes, we're doing fantastic. Thank you very much. AFC always says, imagine if you won the league at Tottenham's new stadium or at Old Trafford, that would be hilarious. Posh, what I'll do, I'll hit the full screen button. I think you're muted, son. Posh, you're muted.
Okay.
I'm on it. Oh, I've got the back end. Solo layer.
So this big fat dollop over here is me, aged about 3 or 4 months, in a Sheffield United kit.
So what is all that about?
This was, of course, before I even knew what a football was.
Yeah.
And before, obviously, I supported Arsenal. My dad had, I believe, he's in the other photo there. Look how young he looks. My dad had a friend, I believe, who must have been a Blade, must have been a Sheffield United fan. And look, there I am there. Full-on Yorkshireman supporting Sheffield United. Look at
Do it for Yorkshire.
There's my dad there. Look how young he looks.
Oh, isn't that cute, everybody?
There we go. So
I'm definitely not going to make that as a short. All right, Bosh. Let me just remember how to get out from exit solo. There we go. So, hello, I'm back.
What the... Oh, he did the clean way. What the F is that all about, wearing a Sheffield United top? Well, I think my dad had a friend or a work colleague who was a Sheffield United fan at the time, and he thought that it would have been fun to give his friend's newborn baby a Sheffield United shirt to make me become a Northerner or something. So originally, Posh Bertie was Yorkshire Bertie, based on the sounds of it. But I think that was the only time I ever wore that, and I didn't know anything about it. So there you go.
Fair enough. I'm not quite sure how to process what I've just seen, in fairness. It's almost like the same sort of imagery I have when Declan Rice scored the 6th goal against West Ham. I can't quite believe what I've just seen.
I don't know. I knew about this, but I haven't. I think I brought it up once on another video, but I don't know. But there's proof that it exists, and there we go. Yorkshire Bertie has existed when he was 4 months old.
Fair enough.
Anyway, Mile Hotspur had no clue how he won it. We all know Daniel Levy didn't pay anyone off.
Of course, he's a very honourable businessman. I'm joking, Mr. Levy. If you're watching, please
just
don't
like
sue me.
Kroenke.
Yeah, quite. But look, let's get into the really important bit of the stream, shall we? And that's the team news and who might be back and who might not be back.
Bertie, I can categorically tell you, AFC Always, I will not be doing that. You can be rest assured that will not happen.
Twitch.tv.
I'm not going to do that if Nketiah becomes a top goal scorer at all. Don't worry. No.
So, Bertie, what do you make of the press conference? Mikel was in front of the cameras earlier on today. He was speaking about who might be available, who might not be available. Let's start with the obvious, shall we? Thomas Partey, your thoughts on Thomas Partey back training and possibly being amongst the squad on Monday?
Yes, that is encouraging news. It's been a long time coming.
It's been a while.
It's been a while, yes. And I think although Thomas Partey and training, it's a sentence, two sentences that make me nervous because look, even AFC Always said it wouldn't surprise me if Partey picked up an injury in training before Monday's game. And look, I've said that I've made this comparison before. I know that Thomas Partey, yes, he's an older player now, but when he was at Atletico Madrid, he got injured, twice in 5 years he was there. All of a sudden, he comes to Arsenal, and as I say, his whole body's now made of glass. And I don't know if this is an Arsenal thing or just an English football training culture thing with other teams, because Jesus was injured before he became an Arsenal. Before he was injury prone before he became an Arsenal player when he was at Man City. But you see with players like Tomiyasu and as well Smith Rowe, even they get injured more often than they should be. And I just think that for some particular players, maybe some training like modules or whatever, as I say, the training drills might be too intense for some. Maybe he needs to be put on a lighter workload or something.
For ESR, I wonder how much it is with growing pains. That's my thoughts. Because we have to remember he's still quite young and he was exposed to a lot of football very, very early doors. What he hasn't had is a consistent run of games for a long time. Whereas, for example, on the same sort of scale, a very young player coming in, Saka, of course, has gone through like game after game after game. I think he's just broken the 100 goal involvement kind of thing, hasn't he? With his assists and goal scoring. Good evening, Niall Kane. Good to see you live as well, mate. Thank you for joining us. Big game for you. I'll get on to Man United in a little bit. But yeah, well, as Emerson says in the chat here,
you
get a picture who will travel to Sheffield on Sunday after the last training session, which is tomorrow. But from all these sounds from Mikel Arteta from earlier on today, we are looking at even, Partey is potentially looking at being in the squad. We're looking at Tomiyasu potentially being amongst the squad. We're looking at Zinchenko. The only one that is not really in contention yet, but seeing him on the pitch at Emirates Stadium the other day was so super encouraging. Was How encouraging was it to see him out on the field doing what he was doing? And I know that it's the ACL thing is a massive recovery time thing, and this we've seen it amongst the club as well with the likes of Leah Williamson, who's had a setback herself. I'll get into that in a bit, but to see him out there kicking a ball amongst the other lads, I think is super encouraging.
Yes, and I'm going to ignore everything you've just said and put this comment up from AFC Always saying Emil Swiss Rolls needs to lose a bit of weight.
That's a bit harsh.
That popped me live, that did. No,
it's not the only one then.
We don't want we look, Smith Rowe's a good player, but we don't want him turning into me, for God's sake. I think I think he's still a decent player. He had a shot cleared off the line against Newcastle, and I'm so desperate to see an Emil Smith Rowe goal. Maybe he'll come off the bench on Monday. Who knows? He may even start, and hopefully he'll find the back of the net because I need it. I need that. Zinchenko definitely a no for Monday. Okay, so
and to be honest, Emerson will know. Emerson would really know. Honestly, in terms of that one, Kivior, fair play to you, son. Kivior, I want to make sure I go on record live here and saying, wow, son, you are doing things that I never expected to see off you. Adapting left-back position, even scoring in our last game.
Yeah.
Fair play, mate. Well done. The more he plays, with the more experience that he's getting, do you know what? He's becoming a better player each time we see him. So, I mean, look, I might be jinxing it. Look, things might go terribly Pete Tong on Monday night, but I'm going to say to you all on our preview show that Kivior has really impressed me. And I think I'll be right in saying my distinguished broadcast colleague will probably agree with me for once in his life.
No, I've agreed with you plenty of times, sir.
I know. I'm just playing with you, sir.
I agree with you about Kivior, how much he's improved since the West Ham game. He's been on a great run of form, and I don't know how old he is, but I think he's a young player. Okay, so I think the more he features in the team, I think the more that he can develop into a good player, and he's whatever he's doing since the West Ham game, he's doing it right. And I said, like, his performances, because obviously aside from the Newcastle game, he's not a player that scores, apart from Newcastle, of course. But so his
sorry, Vicky, if you're watching, by the way, mate. My good friend, I call her my big sister, Vicky. She's a big Geordie fan. So
I just realised because John Sinclair's not with us. I can say that Newcastle got one hell of a beating late on Saturday.
How good was John, by the way, on our review? John Sinclair TV. If you haven't already subscribed to John, he's a terrific guy I've known for a long time, and I've wanted to have him amongst our community for some time. So he was fantastic. So. Oh, yeah, go. I think we're about right. 24
years old. Thank you, Emerson.
Give me up.
But yeah.
So big up John Sinclair. I do believe John might be live right now, so he probably won't be watching, but he's doing his preview for Newcastle's game over the weekend. But big up to John. He's a terrific guy. Yeah, absolutely.
As I was saying, Kivior's performances tend to go under the radar because he's not, a goal scorer much. So I think his performances go under the radar, but he has been very good since the West Ham game, and I think he's going to probably end up starting on Monday because Tomiyasu's gone. AWOL and Zinchenko is injured. So,
Well,
yeah.
it seems like Tommy's not too bad as well. But at
Okay.
this sort of stage last season, Posh, we were picking up probably injuries that wrecked our very promising season, right?
Yeah.
And you know I'm referring, of course, to Saliba
Yeah.
against Sporting Lisbon. So how encouraging is it? And without putting the commentator's kiss of death on it, right? How encouraging is it now at this stage, March the 1st, we're looking at a whole heap of injured players, some of which have been out for quite some time. How encouraging is it to see them at least back in training?
If Saliba gets injured on Monday, I'm blaming you for all of it.
In the words of The Rock, just bring it.
Blimey. Okay. Are you going to? Are you challenging me to a match at WrestleMania? Then is that what it is? Anyway,
I'd like to see that in hell, in a cell.
You throw me off again. You're talking about Yuri and Timber, aren't you? Yeah, it's really encouraging.
Timber and Partey, Zinchenko, Tomiyasu. Jesus is still a bit iffy, but sorry, I'm coughing.
Oh no!
So Jesus might still be not quite ready for 90 minutes,
Yeah.
but he is going to be amongst our squad on Monday.
All right, I'll catch up with the chat while you cough and splutter everywhere. AFC always says he would take Eze and Elise from Palace. I would too. They're very good players. I think if they get relegated, they will definitely still play in the Premiership, but for a bigger club. John is a top guy, absolutely. Hello, Luke. Good to see you. You had a sore throat on Monday. That's fine. You were still in the chat. I saw you. So fair play to you. I don't know who the Cobblers have got. I don't know who the Cobblers have got tomorrow, but good luck to you in that game. BX Gunner says could have been a different outcome last year had Arteta played Kivior more over Holding. I agree. I think
retrospectively, I get what you're saying. Holding had a heap more Premier League experience though, and no, Rob Holding might not be the best ever defender in Premier League, but is what it is. I can totally understand him putting an experienced head and Holding over a young head rookie season. Because imagine if you made a big mistake against a big club. Can you imagine? So it's all about man management for me.
To play devil's advocate with you, as you like to say. In the words of the now supposed manager of the year, we played a high line last season, and Rob Holding is not a high line defender. That's what was the problem. Kivior allowed us to play in that system. That was what I think. That's what I said in the game at St James's Park, where we won 2-0. Although Kivior is not a Saliba type player, but much like him, he allowed us to play kind of the same way we did last season, which was what Rob Holding couldn't allow us to do, which is what made us, playing a high line with Rob Holding is like trying to teach a tortoise how to run. It's
disrespect to Rob Holding, by the way. Because Rob had his moments. I think Rob Holding, in a different generation, would have been absolutely top centre half. But in this ball-playing, quick generation, it's a bit difficult for him. He's even finding it difficult. I know he's got an injury at the moment, but he was finding it very difficult to establish himself at Crystal Palace before his injuries. So that's my my 2 pence worth on that one.
Yep. As I catch up with the chat more, Mahir Topal, hello, good to see you.
Welcome
AFC
back.
always. The Rock, Cody, and Rollins will be on SmackDown next Friday. The Rock will be on SmackDown tonight, I believe.
I
And
think
Emerson says,
he's cut
"Hey,
a brilliant promo. If you haven't seen it, Posh, he's cut a brilliant promo
is that
on
that
it.
21-minute long Instagram video he did?"
I mean, it's like taking WWE Attitude Era to a different level, but oh my God, it's so good.
And okay, excellent. Emerson says Jesus will be monitored in various training sessions, and Tommy Tomiyasu will be in the squad on Monday. Encouraging news about Tommy. I don't think he'll start, but who knows? He might come off the bench or something. That could be best case scenario. Here we go. Northampton Town against Charlton Athletic. I used to live in Eltham, near Charlton's, sort of, about 15 or 20 minutes away from Charlton's ground, believe it or not. Saturday, 2nd of March at the PM Sixfield Stadium.
BMS. That's something different, isn't it?
Sixfield
What do you mean,
Stadium.
sisters?
You put PM without the space there. Sixfield Stadium, Sky Bet League One. That is a YouTube short now, isn't it? Anyway, Sixfield
Good
Stadium,
work,
Sky Bet
everybody.
League One. Go on, up the cobblers.
Can
And
I do this one? Can I do this one? Finally, The Rock has come back to SmackDown. There you go.
And finally, we're going to get back on topic. We were talking about Yuri and Timber. Yes, I remember.
I remember.
Yeah, when he got injured, at the start of the season, people were saying that around March would be the best, like absolute best case scenario
Yeah,
for him to return. There was talk of him potentially just being out for the whole season. So I'm glad that he's training with the first team now.
Yeah.
And of course, they said that back on Monday when it was February.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
I'm
very encouraging. Like I said on the video the other night, right? It's so good to see Timber out there and having a laugh with his teammates. That's the important thing with him. He doesn't need to rush himself back. Absolutely not. What he needs to do is make sure he's 100% physically right. There's another battle he was going to have to overcome as well, and that's the mental battle as well. He has got some very, very good people amongst the Arsenal football playing staff who'll be able to talk to him about coming back from a serious injury. Let me just remind you of Leah Williams and Beth Mead, Vivian Miedemar. I'll get on to Miedemar in a minute because there's something I need to talk about with her. But look, we'll take with Timber one step at a time. Very encouraging. We all know how good he looked over pre-season and over the Community Shield game. We don't need to go over and over and over on that. But what we will say is that I can't wait to see him back out there whenever it will be. It'll be a very special moment, whoever witnesses that, to see him make his playing comeback.
AFC always apparently.
Just a minute.
No worries. Apparently, Party does not want to leave Arsenal in the summer. He and his family are very happy in London. Let's hope we get a fully fit Party can give us between 7 to 8 games of the Party we all know. I hope so too, because when Party is fully fit, he's a really, really good player for us. And I've said this all season. I really want to see Party, Rice, and Odegaard. That's the midfield I want to see. We saw it in the Community Shield, and we saw it briefly also against Man City in the league, and we beat them. So it's a midfield that I'm intrigued to see. Yeah.
So here we go.
You don't. Yeah.
Look. As much as I rate Party as a player and everything like that, honestly, at the moment, I think it's going to be very difficult for him to get back into the starting 11. I do, maybe see him amongst the squad. Certainly, early doors. I think the midfield five, if you want to call it, of Saka, Odegaard, Rice, Jorginho, Martinelli works very, very well. That middle player who happens to be Havertz at the moment might not be everyone's cup of tea.
Or Trossard. It could be in that number 9.
Or Trossard or Jesus. What a nice problem that is. But look, I personally think it's very difficult to see Partey anywhere close to the first team. Honestly, but fair play. And I know AFC always might disagree with me. I know other people will do too. It's just a personal opinion of mine. Look, we'll see, won't we? We'll see.
Jorginho at the moment is in a good, much like Kivior, not really the first name on the team sheet, but at the moment they're in a great run of form. But I think providing Partey can be fully fit, I think that he will go back into the first team. If he won't, then unfortunately I can see him end up leaving in the summer, which I disagree with. I think I say to all the fans who want Partey to leave in the summer, be very careful what you wish for. That's all I'm going to say there.
That's fair. That's absolutely fair, because I do remember how good he is. I remember commentating on the game with you against Spurs, and he hit a fantastic shot that deserved to go in. It's one of my favourite clips on the whole channel, right? And it's a great bit of play. Partey has, when he's 100% fit and good to go, he's got the technique, he's got the skill, he's physical in the midfield. He might have it a little bit on the age thing with Jorginho as well, perhaps. But
are they similar age? Partey's 30.
I think Jorginho may be slightly older. 30, but I mean literally slightly.
32.
Yeah. But look, I think this one's going to divide a lot of opinions, and that's good. That's okay, because a lot of us can have our own opinions on the matter. I'd love to hear your all opinions if you're watching us live, or if you're watching us on demand. Let us know what you think where Partey's future will be. Will he continue with Arsenal? Will he go to pastures new in the summer? What do you think?
I think what I think is I'm hoping he'll continue being an Arsenal player, and he gets trained properly, so he doesn't get so injured all the time. But I think the likely option is, because of how injured he gets at Arsenal. I think I agree with BX. I think he will probably end up leaving in the summer. I don't agree with that, with getting rid of Partey, because I can think when fully fit, I think he's really good. And I think our loss will be another team's gain. And I also fear that other team might actually train him properly, and he will rarely get injured and become an absolute machine. That's my worry.
And I'll counter that by saying, when you have an old car, for example, believe me, I will know this one. If it starts to break down a little bit, you can't just change its wheels and all of a sudden it's going to be fine again. What I'm saying is, with Partey, I think there may be an issue there that's been running on and on. Now, I know, because I did actually have a good read of the press conference today, and Mikel was talking about with Thomas that he picked up a different sort of injury over December time. So maybe over one sort of hamstring sort of issue, then into another sort of issue. And that may be true, right? In all fairness to him. And that is extremely unfortunate. I'm not being sarcastic in any way there. Very unfortunate, because we all know what a good player is. I think Posh and myself will agree on that. He's a top quality player
Mm.
when he's available to play. The issue I think we'll have is that he hasn't been available to play for quite some time. I think the sands of time are running out for Thomas Partey at Arsenal Football Club. Is just my opinion.
I agree with you saying that I think time's running out for Partey and that he'll probably leave in the summer, but I wouldn't get rid of him if I was the manager. Hint, hint. Potential stream.
And of course, if you want to see Posh Bertie being the manager of Arsenal Football Club, let me just say to us, how good was it to see a bit of gaming on our channel? Posh Bertie turned into Mikel Postradamus as the new Arsenal manager on Football Manager 2024. If you haven't already seen it, he did a fantastic stream the other night for the pre-season kind of thing. Pretty sure when he goes live next time, we'll be looking
which will hopefully be tomorrow evening at around the same time as now, which is like 8 p.m.
Fantastic. Yeah. So it'll be in the competitive games like the Premier League games.
Community Shield against City.
I was just going to say that as well. You read my mind.
Yeah.
So let's see what Postradamus can come up with. Suggestions in the chat, everybody. Who should Poch attempt to sign? I know Haaland and Kevin De Bruyne and Rodri might be the ones we all want. That's what you want to happen.
I can tell you now. I advanced a few more days before the Community Shield because I had to sort out all the tactics stuff.
Yeah.
There some things have been happening, and I'll get to that tomorrow. Oh yes, is he the Georgian player whose name I'm not even going to try and pronounce? Yes, I think I know who you're on about there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that might be. He's a winger, isn't he? So that might be a good replacement when I eventually force Reece Nelson out the club.
Winger is you.
All right. So yeah, thank you for that shout out about the EFM stream. Yeah, I'll probably go live tomorrow playing it, providing I'm not too tired from watching Ebbsfleet. We're at home to Rochdale of all teams, and I think we're still in the bottom half of the table, but Rochdale are mid-table. We have the home advantage. We're on fire at the moment, much like Arsenal. I think we might get a cheeky 2-1 win. Old Ebbsfleet tomorrow. I'm confident.
Go on, Ebbsfleet.
Yes. Emerson Cozier says Zubamendi will replace Partey in the summer. And Emerson, he's in the know. So
yes.
I think we'll see what happens there. Look,
Isn't he a sort of similar player to Saka? Is that right?
Zubamendi is a midfielder, I think.
Yeah. I think I've seen that name before in a group chat somewhere. So yeah, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah.
I know Amy's making a bit of a noise in the other room. I can't do much about that, guys. She's a very excitable little lady right now. Posh, go ahead.
The most tangent I've ever seen. Teen Wolf, great film in the 80s. All right, cheers, AFC, always.
Thanks for that.
Anyway, we talked about Timber. We discussed Thomas Partey. We briefly talked about what the expectations are for us against Sheffield United. Well, who do you expect to start in the starting 11? I think Kivior at left back is an all but certain because he's the only option we have. Because Tomiyasu,
I think we'll have an unchanged starting 11.
Do you think, or can you see, for whatever reason, Arteta dropping Jorginho, putting Havertz in the midfield, and then starting Jesus up front or something? Or do you think we'll go unchanged?
As much as I like Jesus, and I do, I think that'd be very unwise. Bear in mind he's the fitness doubt. So I keep the shape the same. I keep Havertz at 9. I keep Martinelli. I keep Saka. Look, it might be a bit boring, but I actually think that probably is our best sort of shape at the moment in terms of balance as well. Because what I'm not going to do is take the blades lightly. I think we're going to have to be disciplined. I think we're going to have to be organised, and I believe having Jorginho in there does really help that thing.
You can't go into a game going, yep, we've already won this. Let's sit back and relax and watch us get 10 goals.
Precisely, because we've seen it before, haven't we? We've seen it before in Premier League. That happens all the time. That if you take someone for granted, they're going to go and slap you right round the face like The Rock did to Cody Rhodes.
Yes, and people are giving like Sheffield United because they're bottom of the league and haven't won in a while, and people think, yeah, here we go, 6-0, this is fine. But even though on paper we should be comfortably winning, that's on paper, that's in the mind. I think when it actually happens, it's different. So
exactly what we said earlier in the stream. Yeah.
The phrase I like to use is cautiously confident or cautiously optimistic. That's how I feel going into the Sheffield United game. I think we will win, not by like 5 goals. I think it'll be 3-0. That's my prediction. I think we'll be a comfortable win, but it won't be like a 7-0 like some people predict.
Well, I'm going to differ with you slightly, and I'm going to throw up the 4. Rest in peace, Ollie Anderson. There you go. It's a 4 Horsemen reference, everybody. It's going to be 4-0 on Monday night. That's what I'm hoping for. It might be better than that, but we'll see. I'll take 4.
We'll see. AFC always says, will you take Lautaro Martinez, I think his name is, for the striker from Inter Milan if we don't sign Tony? I think...
I don't know enough about him.
I remember him. He played for Argentina in the World Cup last year.
Yeah,
he looks like a decent player. I know he's a good goal scorer as well, but I don't watch Serie A. I don't watch Italian football. So, and I know that Osimhen as well is another option. He can be a good striker.
That's the one I'm going to say, Posh.
He's linked with us more than Martinez is. But I would. The only reason why I lean towards players like Tony or Ollie Watkins more is that they've got Premier League experience. They've faced the other teams like that before, and it's a bit of a risk if you sign. Obviously, Erling Haaland is different because he's an absolute goal machine, but it's a risk when you sign.
He was taking the mickey against Luton, wasn't he?
Yeah, he did that. He did that in the FA Cup just to troll people who didn't triple captain him in the Premier League.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
Osimhen will go to PSG now, and Pepe's leaving. Yeah, probably. But who knows? Who knows? I mean,
one thing we do know is that we do need a striker next summer.
We need more than one striker, sir. But you're right. We definitely need one. If not, we'll certainly cover the transfer issues a little bit closer towards sort of April, May, I think, because what I don't tend to do on our channel is speculate too much. I like to play with factual rather than rumor and innuendo, if you want. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll keep eyes over everywhere, and I mean certainly during the summer, I think there might be something I'll try and experiment with a little bit on the channel, which might mean us doing very short videos, sort of day in, day out, if we can. But I'll have to talk about the team about that.
AFC always says Evan Ferguson is on the Arsenal shortlist of strikers. I hope that's true.
About him.
He's a good player. He's a good
we
player.
We talked about him on Monday, didn't we, mate? Very, very talented lad. I mean, I've read some people saying that I'm not so sure about him being the Arsenal's number one target at number 9 and everything. I think he has an awful lot of potential. But then if he comes in, say, where does he go in? Does he go straight in? Does he have the as Triple H would say, does he have the pedigree to go into the Champions League, for example? That is a big question at the moment.
Yes. Also, AFC always says AirPod Albert, referring to our assistant manager, is leaving at the end of the season, isn't he? I have not heard about that.
What do you know, AFC always? What do you know? Where's he going? We'll talk about it. I mean, absolutely.
He's going to the Apple store. If he's called AirPod Albert, sell his AirPods. Anyway,
if you thought my jokes are bad, I'm sorry. All right, I'll apologise.
Well,
it was nice of you to all be watching. Thank you.
Yes, fantastic. Yeah, so I unfortunately for you, Mr. Meadows, I can't see Eddie Nketiah starting against Sheffield United on Monday. Maybe he might come off the bench for a little cameo, maybe.
I think I suggested when I spoke a little while ago, I told you what my midfield 5 was. I told you what my number 9 striker would be.
Yeah.
You
didn't even mention Eddie.
I went Havertz. I went form-wise, didn't I? So I'd probably have Ben, Gabby, Saliba, and then Kivia. Obviously, it's going to be goalkeeper Raya. I can't wait till next week when we're playing Brentford and we can talk about Ramsdale again. That's going to be a laugh.
Oh yeah. Yes. He's on loan, isn't he? Ramsdale,
so he can't play. He can't play. But we'll look forward to the discussion on that one next week.
Yes, and I think this is it. I think that'll be us wrapping up now because I've got nothing else to talk about apart from one thing I've just remembered. On Sunday, myself and Lee will be doing another watch along for the Arsenal women's game. It's a North London derby against Tottenham.
Big old game.
It doesn't matter what gender you are. I love any Arsenal team to humble the Spuds. It's what I crave. Man or woman, I want Arsenal to defeat Tottenham.
Absolutely. That's what we're looking for.
Discuss something about that? You
Absolutely. I'll run through a little bit of what I know. So let's go first to Vivian Miedemar.
Yeah.
Of course, one of the members of the ACL club who has recently sort of come back. But it looks like she may need another surgery on a knee. Doesn't look that bad, but we'll know a bit more as we go along a little bit. With the likes of Beth Mead still around, Stina Blackstenia still going well. Of course, we still have names. Alicia Russo, who was actually, interestingly, dropped against her old club in the last WSL game against Manchester United. Hello, Spencer. Good to see you. It would be very interesting. We have got a lot of options to look at. We mentioned Williamson earlier on, of course, was withdrawn from the England squad. Does seem that from Eunice Arnveld that she may well be in contention potentially for Sunday. Whether she starts or not, I'm not quite sure yet. I would say a bit of a debate might go on the goalkeeping front because, of course, Simberger played when England put 7 goals past her in the international.
There's a goalkeeping debate for the women's team as well.
You're not kidding. I'm not sure of D'Angelo's availability. That wasn't mentioned in the press conference, so we shall see. I think she's away on international duty still, potentially for Canada still, but we'll see if I'm right or wrong about that. But whether we are still challenging for Chelsea for the league, or we're just going for the Champions League place, which is very important to qualify for. It's going to be a great game on Sunday. I'm looking forward to it. It won't be the first women's WSL North London derby I've commentated on. I just hope this one will be as successful as the last one I did with Sam Wilson when we won 3-0. So
let's hope the humbling happens again. Well, before we go, final comment from AFC always. Arsenal under-21s just beat Chelsea 4-2. Goals from Foran, Wanyeri. Is that Wanyeri, but without an R? Without an I, sorry. And Butler Oyedeji. Correct me if I'm wrong with the names.
I haven't seen the report, mate. So, I mean, it'd be very unprofessional for me to go on my phone right now and check that out. But if that is the case, or check out yourselves, arsenal.com, for the match report on that one. And I think, ladies and gentlemen, that just about wraps us up for Gooner Gathering this evening. I've enjoyed this thoroughly. It's been
absolutely
a stream in the kitchen. You've seen me eat my dinner.
Yeah.
I will show you how I cook my dinner later on a time-lapse stream. And this has been fun, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed it.
Excellent.
Let's be sure we hit the like button on our way out. Make sure you tune in to Bosh Bertie on Saturday for the Football Manager 2024. If you're not already subscribed or following us, I should say, on twitch.tv/Gooner Gathering, let's try and see if we can get another 3 followers over there on twitch.tv/Gooner Gathering. It's the handle that we go on everywhere. If we can get to 50 subscribers over there on Twitch, we can probably bring this to another sort of level. It's very important for the channel, and it means that I can kind of reward the likes of Bertie and everyone else. Sam Wilson is thinking about doing something with us on the Twitch channel. So if we can get the rewards and bits that go into the channel if you become an affiliate, that would be very important for us. So
Matt Roberts does a good job with the women's news as well.
That is exactly what my next thing was. I was going to say to you, because Matt provided me with the Lionesses report. I didn't even need to ask him, and he did a fantastic job on that from the midweek. So big thank you to Matt Roberts. You'll find a more in-depth report on the Lionesses over on the Vic Akers Wonderland podcast. That's what you need to search for on the YouTube search bar just above our head there. Once we've gone, make sure you give them a subscribe as well. Thank you very much. And I think that's just about us for tonight.
Absolutely. And also on Sunday, I'm going to be on double duty because I not only doing the women's watch along with Lee, but I think in the evening I'll be on Wrestle Dogs as well, talking about the grappling. It was meant to be today, but Sam Wilson changed it to Sunday.
Yeah.
So yes, that is when I do double duty, not today. So yes,
absolutely.
Subscribe to them as well. If you like us talking about wrestling, which is what we sometimes do on this channel, you can see us talk about it more in depth on the Wrestle Dogs YouTube channel. That is it from us. Have a great weekend, everyone, and we will see you on Sunday for the women's, and we'll see you Sunday for the women's, Monday for the men's, and Saturday for me mucking about on Football Manager. I'll catch you later.